Welcome back to our list of the most expensive sports items and what they sold for, from baseball to title belts. Did you know a pair of Muhammad Ali's boxing gloves once sold for $1.1 million? Also, did you know the rules of baseball were sold at an auction? Also, please consider liking and sharing this video, subscribing and ringing that bell to receive more videos like this one. So without further ado, let's dive right into this list. Firstly, why is memorabilia important? Memorabilia represents the past, pride, and worth of a sport and its participants. It is also the best illustration of why collecting requires keeping memorable and noteworthy things. You can never predict the future value of your possessions. Can you imagine what the person who handled Babe Ruth's laundry was thinking now that his jerseys fetch hundreds of thousands of dollars each? Rare sports items are purchased and sold by a select group of buyers and collectors for sums that reach the millions. Although all of their efforts are priceless, we have a list of the items that are most memorable and valuable. The reason for this is that you never know when its worth can suddenly increase. They may sell for hundreds, thousands, or even millions of dollars instead of only a few pennies. Due to the skyrocketing prices for memorabilia, expert traders engage in this market. With all that out of the way, here are the top 10 most expensive sports collectibles ever sold. Up next, did you know the Football Association Challenge Cup is the oldest soccer tournament in the world? The English FA Cup, formerly known as the Football Association Challenge Cup, is the oldest soccer tournament in the world and sold for around $956,000. Everyone is aware of the English passion for football, which is a result of the long history of local teams. The FA Cup is an annual custom that dates back to the 1871 to 1872 campaign. There were only 4 trophies produced, and only one was sold to an unidentified purchaser. Despite Chelsea winning the cup this year, Arsenal and Manchester United hold the top 2 spots in cup victories. So why did these 1965 Muhammad Ali Floyd Patterson boxing gloves sell for so much? These boxing gloves, which sold for a staggering $1.1 million, dating back to the battle that gained notoriety among boxing fans as well. Black Muslims were disparaged by Floyd Patterson, and the two had little respect for one another when they stepped into the ring in 1965 for their bout. Muhammad Ali rebuked Patterson for saying that Ali winning the title would be un-American, and he suggested that he check his tax returns to discover where Ali competed and who he represented. The 1965 bout lasted 12 rounds, which made it challenging to watch. After Patterson was knocked down in the 6th round, he steadfastly refused to give in, and Ali continued to mock Patterson for the remainder of the fight. With his victory, Ali not only improved his boxing record, but a victory for the civil rights movement in America. Up next on this list is what happened with Paul Henderson's 1972 jersey. Since the sport's inception, Canadians have dominated ice hockey almost entirely. But who contributed to the team's and the sport's current success? These athletes include Paul Henderson. During the Canadian team's triumph over the Soviet Union squad in the first Summit Series, he was sporting the hockey jersey that would eventually become the most expensive jersey ever sold, going for around $1.3 million. With just 34 seconds remaining in the contest, Henderson, playing for the Toronto Maple Leafs, made the decisive play. Henderson became a national hero for Canada, which went on to win 7 of the final 8 games in the series. Following its auction, the jersey traveled throughout Canada with a group of other priceless pieces of Canadian hockey history. So, why was Babe Ruth's 1919 Yankees contract sold for $100,000? Another amazing name on the list is none other than Babe Ruth, given that it marked a historic occasion and is widely regarded as one of the most significant in baseball history. It should come as no surprise that this object is so expensive. Most sports fans were shocked when the Red Sox sold Babe Ruth to the Yankees in 1919, but the $100,000 price tag turned out to be a wise investment. Ruth, who is recognized as the best baseball player of all time, blasted 54 home runs in his debut season with the Yankees in 1920. Private sales were later conducted at a price of around $996,000. Coming up next, why was Hank Aaron's 755th home run ball so important to fans? Hank Aaron, the former former right fielder for the Milwaukee/Atlanta Braves and Milwaukee Brewers, is the only player to have more MLB home runs than Babe Ruth. Aaron had a remarkable career and continues to hold the records for the most All-Star seasons, 21, and All-Star game selections, 25. The final of the 755 home runs the 1957 World Series champion hit came in July 1976 at County Stadium in Milwaukee. A little more than 20 years later, the ball was sold for around $650,000. So how much did the Babe Ruth signed 1933 All-Star Game home run ball sell for? Babe Ruth made history in 1933 when he became the first player to ever hit a home run in an All-Star game. While the jersey sold for $675,250, the ball sold for an astounding $805,000. Doing even better, the game, the first All-Star game, was played on July 6, 1933 at Comiskey Park in front of 49,200 spectators. In the contest, Ruth hit 2 home runs. Babe Ruth's fame, the fact that this was the inaugural All-Star game and a first home run, and the historical significance of the All-Star format all contributed to its great value and collectability. Keep watching closely. We've got everything you need to know about how the rules of basketball were once sold. Up next, how did Babe Ruth's 1923 first Yankee Stadium home run bat get a world record? The man is back again. The Guinness Book of World Records lists the first and only bat on this list as being the priciest bat ever made. Additionally, it's true in many ways. Ruth used the bat in the first game ever played in the original Yankee Stadium, also known as the house that Ruth built, because of how crucial he was to the rise to popularity and success of the Yankees. Ruth not only hit the first home run at Yankee Stadium, but also did it against his former team and opponents, the Boston Red Sox, making the bat even more recognizable. For a price of $1.26 million, the bat was sold at Sotheby's in New York in 2004. So why were the Sheffield Football Club rules, regulations, and laws sold for so much? Even though football, or soccer, is by far the most popular sport on earth, only 2 items from the sport appear on this list, despite its market experiencing growth that is even higher and faster than most in recent years. It is thought that the Sheffield Football Club rules, regulations, and laws were the first set of football regulations ever created. The oldest active football club in the world, Sheffield FC, was assembled in 1857, the same year they were founded. To raise money, the club sold it to an unknown bidder at Sotheby's auction house in 2011 for a whopping $1.24 million. The book contained regulations that are still in effect today, including the prohibition of both hacking and tripping, and the indirect free kick and corner kick. Next up, how did a Honus Wagner 1909 baseball card become worth almost $3 million? Honus Wagner played baseball for 21 years with the Louisville Colonels and the Pittsburgh Pirates. He is recognized as one of the greatest MLB players of all time, and unquestionably the best in the sport's early years, with only Ty Cobb serving as true competition. Wagner, also known as the Flying Dutchman, was one of the inaugural 5 inductees into the Baseball Hall of Fame in 1936. He tied for second place with Babe Ruth and received the second highest number of votes, only behind his contemporaries Cobb. As a result of Wagner's refusal to allow the American Tobacco Company to feature him on the card because he didn't want kids buying cigarettes, the card's cost skyrocketed. Due to its growing rarity, a card in nearly immaculate condition sold in 2007 for $2.8 million. Lastly, how did James Naismith's 1891 Rules of Basketball sell for a whopping $4.3 million? James Naismith, a physical educator, physician, and inventor who was born in Canada, immigrated to the United States after completing his studies in Montreal. In 1891, while working as a teacher future. He created the first basketball regulations. Naismith, a medical doctor, is credited as being the only inventor of basketball. His original regulations for the game are still in use, and they currently rank as the second most expensive item of sports memorabilia ever sold. At the auction, the rules brought in a staggering $4,338,500. And there you have it, these top 10 expensive sports items that were sold for quite a hefty price. We hope you enjoyed this video, and if you want to see more, then be sure to like and subscribe to not miss any similar content. Also, be sure to let us know in the comment section below if you've ever bought an expensive sports item.